Hello, I'm your host, Giselle Gamby, and this is the Intuitive Pool Podcast, where together we'll embrace the plans we did not make yet, unfold businesses and lives that are so much greater in wealth in all ways than any business or life plan could ever achieve. My wish is that you make intuition your most trusted advisor. So buckle up, get present, and let's go.
Hello, dear listeners. It's good to be back here recording this meditation for you. I apologize for my funny, wheezy voice. I've been in bed with the flu the last 3 days and have been resting, which has been great. And one of the gifts from resting is that I was able to see just how powerful this podcast is, not only in the messaging that is delivered through the podcast. And speaking to that, I just want to make one comment that observing my clients listen to the episodes over and over again, which I'm super grateful for, I realized that these episodes are really like a mini workshop unto themselves. So I'm very grateful for the fact that I have so much joy in recording these episodes, and that, they're so powerful for the impact that they have on your lives. So a moment of real appreciation for that, which I was already present to, but the piece that I was not present to as much as I was this morning when it arrived is that this podcast really has such a generosity interwoven in its energetic fabric. I see in my mind's eye like a green wiring where everything is connected on this energetic plane, and it's way beyond my control. And there have been infinite ripples that have gone out into the world, as I said, way beyond my control, that have had some really practical consequences. And one of those is to the beautiful Aliyah Sirengo, which I spoke to about in, I think the podcast episode was called An Abundance of Miracles. Aliyah, who is here to eradicate period poverty. And those ripples continue way beyond my control. I won't speak to them today other than to say that there are more ripples that have happened. A couple of days ago, I was drawn on Facebook by a woman called Jasmine. She's a woman who has brought over 290 Ukrainian girls over to Sydney. And these girls are in the performing arts world, where Jasmine, as far as I can tell, is also. Then I saw another post and realized, it's the same woman. She was interviewed on SBS. And so I was drawn to Jasmine. Jasmine, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name yet. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And I offered to interview Jasmine and also some of her girls on this podcast, so that whoever is listening may be drawn to help out the cause. So they're not ready to be interviewed yet, but I'm ready to share their story. I'm going to put it in a link in the show notes, Jasmine's interview on SBS. But just quickly, her heart is just gold. Someone to care so much, they take time out of their lives to bring over 290 girls. Can you imagine the pragmatic and practical element of all of that? So recently she's brought over another couple of girls and has another one girl coming. They've found some accommodation in Tuggerah Lakes, and they'll be going to an academy there. But what they're needing funds for their accommodation. The rent is $125 per week per girl. They're living in a really beautiful place. Jasmine was able to raise funds for their flights and visas, so that's all covered. So if you're drawn to helping out in any way, whether that be financially, there'll be a link in the show notes that you can do that, or whether that be because you can offer a teaching place for these girls in their performing arts worlds, please contact Jasmine. Her details will be in the show notes. Now, on to the theme of this episode. And of course, it's the theme of purpose. Jasmine is an incredible demonstration, isn't she, of someone who right now is shining in her purpose, and the impact of that is just beyond, if you think about the lives of these 290 girls in the Ukraine who now have the opportunity to continue with their studies and to live in a peaceful environment. It's just incredible. And the other reason why this theme of purpose has been floating around in my field recently is because I am having conversations actually quite acutely, and also it seems very much a conversation du jour right now. Some people can no longer just continue doing the do. They feel like that there's something of more meaning and value for them to contribute to the world. And so this theme of purpose has been floating around, and what I would like to do now is to take you on a meditation to help you feel into a sense of purpose that is beyond the mind, that is sourced from beyond the mind, and in your heart of hearts feels like if you were to set course here, that there would be zero regrets as you leave this life. Apologies again for not being more upbeat in my communication today. A little struggle here, but I really, really wanted to record this meditation because I also have some time, considering I'm in rest mode. And it is joyful to create these meditative episodes. So when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And to take a couple of big, deep breaths in, right down into your lower belly. And as you exhale, allowing that exhalation to have you be even more present in this moment that's here just for you. And another deep, deep breath, even deeper breath this time. Really enjoying that inhalation, filling up your body with the breath of life. With the breath of light. And exhaling fully and slowly. And again, enjoying your ability to be even more present in this moment. Noticing any tightness in your facial muscles, in the space between your eyebrows, your jaw and your lips and your tongue, and allowing all of those muscles to rest. And scanning down your neck and your shoulders and your back. And making any adjustments that allow you to rest. So all that's required right now is to rest. Wakeful restedness, though. A wakeful restfulness, I should say. That's all that's required. Noticing what you might be feeling inside of your body. What emotions sit there? Naming them to yourself without needing to understand why they're there. And then feeling them. Even observing your current state of being. And allowing yourself to be there without any judgment, good or bad. So we're going to go on a little journey here. Go to different pockets of consciousness, of awareness. Different pockets here and there of awareness. Like putting down puzzle pieces that initially don't show you the big picture. Yet all those puzzle pieces are so important to seeing that big picture, to appreciating that big picture. So trust the process here. Trust that you will remember what is valuable, that you'll pull from your memory banks what is most valuable. And that you'll also pull from your intuition what is most valuable. That you'll pull from your knowingness what is most valuable. So on this journey, we're going to start here. We're going to start in the land of perception about who you have believed you've needed to be. So I encourage compassion and unconditional love and acceptance and honesty as you take this or these travels with me in this meditation. So when you look at your life, when you look over your life, who do you believe you have needed to be? Have you believed you've needed to be the one who's in control? The one who has it all together? Or perhaps even the one who can't have it all? The one that's burdened by responsibility? There are many versions, very many perceptions of ways that we believe we need to be. So have a look at yours. You'll be able to see by observing the choices that you've made. What was compromised by the choice that you believed you needed to be this version of yourself? What was compromised? What did you forget about yourself in the process of believing that you needed to be this particular version of you? What did you neglect? What did you deny? And equally, what was achieved? What was achieved? We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater either. What was achieved? What are you so appreciative of? Your observation of that time in your life. What are you so appreciative of when you look back at that time in your life? Or whether you observe the current time of your life, that this is a now experience. What do you appreciate? What is the gift here? The gift can arrive in the form of what already is and what isn't. And now I'd like you to connect in with what matters the most to you. Take this opportunity to get really honest with yourself. What really, really matters to you? What do you really care about? Just like Jasmine with the 290 girls, over 290 girls that she's brought over. She wouldn't have done that if it didn't matter to her, for whatever personal reasons she has about that. What really, really matters to you? It doesn't have to be as grandiose as the demonstration of Jasmine. In fact, the measurement of grandiose is the mind that does that, and the heart never measures. The heart never measures something as having more importance than another when something truly matters to you. What do you care about? You might care about this thing because you've struggled with it or you've observed struggle with it outside of you. A premise that was birthed through my own experience was that sometimes purpose can be born from the contrast of our struggles. Not always, but sometimes. And purpose can also be born from our joy. That is a fact. So what matters to you? What do you care about? Has struggle shown you what matters the most? And allow joy to show you what matters the most. And now back to you. What is so natural to you? What is a way of being that is so natural to you that it was never needing to be taught? That you never had to learn it from the outside? That it is just who you are and more than likely always have been. What is a way of being in the world that is just so representative and defining of who you are? Maybe it's so natural that you've not even appreciated it. Maybe it's so natural that you've not even seen it. What is a way of being in the world that does not feel like it would ever be defined as work, although we might define it as work on a practical sense? That you would show up this way even if you won the lotto. That you would show up this way without even needing to charge for it. Although that's a different story, and I don't want to go down that track in this conversation, in this experience. Now casting your mind back to the beginning of the meditation where you observed who you have believed you've needed to be. And what the cost of that was, the compromise, what was absent as a result. Imagine letting go of that perception that this is who you believe you need to be in the world. Imagine letting go of that and fully stepping into this way of being that you've just seen. That is just so natural to you that possibly you've not even been aware of it up until now, or possibly you have not valued it as much as I'm inviting you to value it now. Stepping fully into that way of being. And for the next few moments, valuing the value of that way of being, valuing the value of that way of being. Seeing what happens in the world when you are shining, fully shining in that way of being. That is just so natural to you. What happens? What happens if you were to fully unleash yourself? If you were to fully allow yourself to be free to show up in that way of being, and to fully value showing up into that way of being, to fully value showing up in that way of being, what would happen? So interesting words are arriving in my consciousness right now that must be meant to be said. The messages of, do not think that you are too big for your boots. Do not think that as you receive your value, do not define that as being too big for your boots. When one light shines, does it not give permission for all the other lights to shine? So this belief about being too big for your boots is a tall poppy response. And it doesn't belong. It does not belong. As you allow your greatest purpose to find you, it doesn't belong here. And equally, any sense of smallness, that you are too small, that your capacity is too small, that your value is too small, is too meaningless, it also does not belong here. The light is the light. One's expression of the light and another's expression of the light is as valuable as and as meaningful as the other, if fully stepped into. And so for the next little moment, just be with this, that when you know who you are and you value your value, which is where I've just invited you to appreciate, and you also know what matters to you, what you care about. When those two pieces meet, that's a spark of God. A spark of God in human form. And this is where your purpose lies. When you value your value and you know what truly matters to you, what you truly care about, when those two pieces meet, it's like a spark of God. And your purpose has found you. So be with that for the next few moments from a feeling space. Feel that, feel that. And allow the vision of that to show you even more definition. What does that mean? And what does that look like? What does that mean? And what does that look like? For as much as you can see today, no forcing. You'll see what you're ready to see today. You'll see what you are ready to see today. What does that mean, and what does that look like? And to let you know that it's your birthright to be here. It's your birthright to see this vision and to live this vision. It's your birthright. It's why you came here. So again, any feelings of grandioseness or smallness do not belong here. We thank them and we let them go. This is your birthright. It's what you came here to experience. And it's what others came here to experience through you. So imagine standing tall in that for as much as you can see. Energetically, imagine your posture standing tall, uncompromised, unapologetically, standing tall here. Feel your posture energetically stand tall. Feel your posture energetically rise. As you feel your posture energetically rise and stand tall, you may be called to move forward with this in some way. Your intuition may show you how to move with this. Perhaps there's a conversation for you to have with someone. Perhaps there's a course of action for you to take. Perhaps there might be some writing to do. Perhaps there might be a whole new proposal to create. A new program to pitch. a delicate conversation to have. And this is where I'd like to leave you. Your purpose is a space that you could never imagined yourself to be. Your purpose is a space that you could have never imagined yourself to be. Your purpose is a space where you believed you did not belong. Perhaps it was a space that others belonged. But your purpose is a space that you never believed you belonged. And that's the irony, always the irony. You belong where you never believed you did. Feel that now. Allow yourself to be vulnerable here. Allow the irony of this premise to possibly put a smile on your face, to possibly create some freedom, to possibly create some acceptance that this is where you always belonged, in the space that you believed you didn't. Feel that. Allow that to nourish you, to feed you, to free you, to have you see with clarity. Perhaps not the entire vision, or maybe so. But even if it's the beginnings of a vision, there's a completeness in that itself. And thus is the intuitive pull. Here we are. We're pulled. We're pulled to that first piece of knowing, into that first piece of knowing. And we surrender into that. We move with that despite fears, despite not knowing how it's all going to happen. We take the leap. We take the leap into that place where we never believed we belonged. We take that leap into that place where we never believed we had a seat. Take your seat, take your seat. Take your seat here. Feel this experience now. Feel your heart wide open. Take your seat here. This is where you belong. This is what we call the returning home. Returning home. Returning home. coming to completion now on this journey with me, on this journey with you. On the twists and turns, that now possibly you can see the bigger picture. All the separate pieces, you can possibly see a bigger picture now. That puzzle piece over there and that puzzle piece over here may now all be connected. So a moment of gratitude for that. For wherever you have arrived at on this meditation, a moment of gratitude. Allow that purpose to find you. Allow it to show itself, to reveal itself. It's there. It's there. It's in the fabric of your life. Right now. Every stitch perfectly placed. Every fiber perfectly chosen for your purpose to show itself. And so now taking a big deep breath in and out, remembering the time of day it is, where you find yourself, your physical location, perhaps yawning and stretching, remembering that you've got a physical body. And in your own time, opening your eyes. Thank you.